everyone, thank you for joining me as I break down the good and the bad of Orphan First Kill, now streaming on Paramount Plus and in some theaters. When this movie was first announced, I was wondering, does this even need to be made? The first Orphan is a cult classic that many films have tried to copy or recapture that magic of that surprise that we felt that this little girl was actually a grown woman. So I was like, what are they gonna do in this movie? Makes sense that we had a prequel. Did it live up to the hype that I had in my head, hoping that they did something really cool with it, maybe explore Esther's background, or did it fall to the prequel curse? Let's start with the premise. After escaping a psychiatric hospital in Estonia, Russia, Esther finds a way to get her way into America by tricking people that she is this missing girl. But an unexpected twist happens when it pits her versus the mother, who is going to try to protect her family at all costs. Let's start with the good. I think Isabelle Fernhan, I think that's how you say her name, is fantastic as Esther once again. She really knows how to play this character really well. She has a very young disposition that makes her be able to look like a little kid that's also a grown person. It's just this weird uncanny thing when you see her, and the way they have to her effects and the way they make her look like this character is just fantastic and so creepy. I think that she did a great job here because she got more camera time, more time to in her thoughts than we did in the first movie, because a lot of it was everybody seeing Esther through their eyes. Now we're seeing everybody else through Esther's eyes, and we're seeing why she's so conniving, why she's so vicious, and a little bit of it is just the only way she knows how to survive. And we get kind of a surface level of reasoning behind some of her motivation. Some of the things that she got to do in this movie in terms of kills or some of the depraved things she did was kind of cool, especially in the psychiatric ward. A lot of the things that she did was pretty funny and was entertaining in the first act of the movie, and then she escapes and starts interacting with this new family after she starts impersonating this missing child. Things start going quickly downhill as Esther is struggling to pretend to be this girl, because she doesn't know anything about this family. She's trying her hardest. So it makes us see the things that she does and how it affects her when she messes up or things like that, or the things how far she will go to protect her safety and that freedom that she wants. And the twist that happens with the family caught me off guard. I definitely didn't see it. I felt at first like the movie was kind of just retreading a lot of the themes and the things that happened in the first one, and then this twist happened and it floored me. It made me lean in my chair because I watched this at home on Paramount Plus. I was just like, okay, what has happened? I'm really interested. Is this gonna help it beat the prequel curse? Is this the reason why this twist here is gonna explain why she's like this way? And then the bad came in. So let me start talking about the bad. The twist that I will not spoil was very intriguing, got me excited, but absolutely went nowhere. They wasted this really interesting idea that they implicated here. It really let me down and made me very disappointed. This movie suffers from prequelitis really badly because obviously it's a prequel to the first movie. We know that she's gonna survive. So when you do a prequel, you have to introduce certain things that either explores the characters' motivations or introduce other characters in it that may be able to come into another movie or explain that explains where certain things come from. And they didn't do any of those things. So they try to put Esther in situations where they're supposed to feel tense and dangerous, and you're supposed to kind of feel bad for her, which didn't make any sense to me. I knew that she was never in danger because this is a prequel. So it killed all the tension for me. It left me a little bit bored in those situations, even though some of the action and the kills were fun. But at the same time, it was just like, okay, now that the twist is out of the way, we're kind of retreading the same waters that the first movie did, but just not in as a good enough way. The actress that plays the mother here is good, but she's no Vera Farmiga, who really helped that movie get elevated, because like she elevates all the movies that she's in. It just became a disappointing downslope after that twist. And what makes it worse, I think the filmmaking in this movie particularly is just not that great. I think the first one obviously was a low budget film, but the directors, the cinematographers there did a good job to me. From what I remember, I recently watched that movie last year, to make it look good. Like the cinematography was good, the camera shots were good, it did things that were interesting, and we have a little bit of that stuff here in certain scenes, but for the most part the cinematography looks was really bland, kind of cloudy in parts, which was weird. I thought it might have been my TV going bad, but then I turned it on to another TV and it looked the same. So that was disappointing. There was no musical cues or anything happening there. That was really interesting. Yeah, just the camera shots and everything was just very, very standard, which didn't help because the story was not that great. Not all the performances across the board were that entertaining. It felt like a very cheap version of the original movie. I felt bored for a lot of the movie. Let's talk about my verdict. First off, I don't know why this is called Orphan First Kill, because in the movie when she's in the psychiatric ward, this is not a major spoiler, this happens like really early in the movie. They say that she killed a family before this, and that's why she's in the psychiatric ward. And we didn't get to see that happen. So this wasn't her first kill. So the title already didn't make any sense. It was weird. But then after that, I think that this movie didn't live up to the hype of the cult classic that, you know, the first one was. I think it just retreads a lot of the themes and that they did here, but not as interesting. The acting wasn't really that great. It was kind of just mediocre across the board. Besides Isabel, who plays Esther, I just think that this movie didn't justify its existence, and I really don't know why they didn't just put a little bit more effort in here. It just feels like a cheap cash grab for people who enjoy the first one. So with that said, I have to give this movie a D. Comment all your thoughts down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? What do you think about Orphan First Kill? Like the video if you liked my review. Hit the subscription button, subscribe, enjoy the community, help my channel grow, and hit that notification bell so you can be in tune with more of my reviews, reactions, and more. And you can watch more of my content right now.